Let's get started because all of you have an opinion about this. We've talked about it. Have you guys seen this? One of America's largest lingerie retailers, Victoria's Secret, is rebranding, trying to lure women back. So they're getting rid of the scantily clad angels with the giant wings and the Barbie bodies, as well as the rhinestones and the feathers. So instead, this is what they're going to do. They're replacing them with women famous for their achievements, okay? Like Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, and Megan Rapinoe, who will host podcasts and marketing material. They'll be talking with a diverse group of women, including a South Sudanese and Australian model, a freestyle skier, a Brazilian transgender model, a plus-size model, and a journalist. The women form what they're calling the VS Collective. So here's the discussion at hand. Will this rebranding work? Will consumers return to this giant retailer, or did they miss the boat with being diverse and inclusive? Erica, there was a story that you told me a couple years ago that blew my mind, and this just shows my privilege as a white woman. Never did I go shopping at Victoria's Secret and like stress out trying to find a nude bra, right? Because they had my color.
Yeah.
Share your story.
So I got a gift card because otherwise I wouldn't have gone there. I got a gift card for Victoria's Secret. I go in and I was like, I need a nude bra. Now I'm talking to the woman thinking she understands that I need my nude. She gives me, she like points me to nude like your nude.
Sam's nude.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I need like a chocolate skin bra.
Yeah.
And she's like, well,
big mocha latte.
Yeah, like, you know, like my complexion. And she's like, well, all we have is this over here. And it was like either she's like, you could do a black one or you could do this color that was significantly lighter than me. And I was like, just give me some of those workout underwear. Like, just, I mean, give me something. Give me like, I don't know. I'm just going to use the gift card like that. Because the thing is, everyone's talking about, oh, this is a response to woke culture. It's not a response to woke culture. It's a response to sales that have been plummeting. And they had, ever since the first quarter, they've actually increased 9% in sales now that they're using inclusive and more diverse marketing and techniques. Also, when I'm looking at a woman and I want to know, like, I wonder what undergarment it is. And I do think that sometimes because we know that there are different types of materials that show different things. So when I see, it's great to have a journalist because when I see her on television and you don't see her lines, now I'm like, oh Lord, please don't let me have lines. You know, you're like, oh, well, what kind of bra is that? So this makes so much sense.
Does this surprise you two? Because listen, you know, I've already had women write in saying, listen, I never thought that Victoria's Secret was anti-feminist or misogynist, and that's okay too. We can have two thoughts in our head. Some people can go in there and say, I'm going to take control and ownership of my body. I want to look sexy tonight. They shouldn't be mutually exclusive. But then you do have a lot of people saying that it was set up to represent one woman, and it was also underneath this misogynist umbrella run by mostly men. Now there's a lot more women involved. We should know that are in charge.
Is there no like plus size options or options for other types of women in Victoria's Secret?
It goes up to like a double D and that's it. So yeah, I mean I'm thin and when I was pregnant I had like a G bra. So yeah, can you only imagine what most women must feel?
Let me pose this question. Do you need to make it available to everybody? Like, I'm just thinking of alcohol, right? If you don't like the taste of gin, you could drink vodka or whiskey. Do you need to make gin taste like bananas just so everybody wants to drink the gin? Could you have different types of stores that you shop at and not have it be misogynistic?
I think
just a different store that I shop at?
If you went with a niche, if you were having a niche brand, but I think what happened is like we use words like inclusive and we act like somebody's doing somebody a favor. Inclusive is having voices in the room that can tell you things that you would not know. I first learned about TikTok not from an internet guru, from my 9-year-old daughter in my buddy's driveway. That I wish I had her in my marketing team. But you would never get a 9-year-old because you're like, what do they know? And I think that's the same thing that we saw in that boardroom. They go, hey, we have $1 billion here. Clearly, we're doing well. We're in a glass conference room. They didn't realize if they had let the interns speak, they'd be like, hey, you know, this is about our body size, and we can't shop at the store we work for.
Well, it translated to dollars.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We have to move on, but yeah, to your point.
So it's about the marketing, not so much the product.
Well, they're not making money anymore.
It's both, because this is how you actually make change. You do that using your dollar, and by people stopping shopping there, then that's the reason why they made the change. It's not because like, oh, you know, we're having this conversation about it being misogynistic, but that wasn't the driving factor. If their sales were up the way that they have been historically, there'd be no changes. But you have 9 out of 11 board members that are men, and you're having conversations about women's undergarments. Like, get a clue.
Take
Whether
women
you
and
like
take
Banana
women and
Gin
race
or
out of
not.
it. Blockbuster and Netflix.
Never heard of Banana Gin.
If you look at Blockbuster and
Somebody out
Netflix,
there
they
is
didn't
like-
have a young person in there saying, we don't want to get VHS anymore. We want to have this stream to our house. They had a bunch of old people like to go to the store, and Blockbuster's no longer here.
True.
It's just not having enough young voices.
Netflix had the chance to buy
There's
Blockbuster,
one in
by the way.
Portland.
Yep.